What do you make of a talking point which is being popularized on the online right through Carl Benjamin? And he's been commentating on the Lib Dems and their
Yeah,
policies.
really.
And I found this quite interesting. And I'd noticed it without really making the links. But they find themselves coming up with suggestions for changes in the law, for instance, to stop antisocial behavior. And there's a video of Ed Davey on the train tutting away at someone playing their music. Now, as many blog posts will tell you, that often it can be non-natives that are very doing very loud things on the phone on train journeys. Anyway, Carl Benjamin's point is that he thinks that the Lib Dems might hold the key to a populism amongst Middle England because,
Yeah.
in reality, they're all still living in societies which have not yet been fully impacted by mass immigration. They're still very attached to Middle England, and they don't want anything to encroach against it. And so they will be the party of the NIMBYs on every single level of the political spectrum. And he said, watch out for them, because I actually think they could end up having some pretty punchy policies without ever engaging in the same kind of rhetoric you might expect from Reform or a Jenrickian side of the Tory party. What do you make of that? Do you think they have that in them, or do you think they're just wishy-washy, living in the past, and Starmer just needs to go and play Ed Davey at FIFA and it'll all be fun and games?
The Lib Dems hide a militia streak. I don't think a lot. I think a lot of people like to think they're the clown party, and people on both sides of this political spectrum think this, because Davey likes to play the clown, but people need to remember that he was Postmaster General when that was all kicking off, and he slimed his way out of that. The Lib Dems. I actually had this conversation with a Lib Dem at the Count in Buckinghamshire, because Buckinghamshire is full of Lib Dems. And the ones in my ward were very nice to me. They're very pleasant people. But one of them, I was talking to a lady and she was like, so where have your political beliefs come from? And I was like, well, I've lived in Birmingham for most of my life, so that shaped my worldview. And she was like, oh, well, yeah, that's true, because I suppose us in the countryside don't really see that, like the effects of it. And I was like, that's really interesting that she said that, because it shows they're self-aware. And I think that the Lib Dems have the potential, like if 2029 goes the way that I think it's going to go, I think we'll see Lib Dems in opposition. I think they'll be the official opposition to the Reform Party. And I don't think anyone should underestimate them, because a lot of people go, oh, they are like, they're like idiots. But I'd be careful, personally. I think that they have I think the Lib Dems have the potential to be something. Not sure what it is yet. But I mean, they've got 72 MPs. So, they are going to become the protest vote for Middle England, for those naturally Tory areas who've given up with the Conservative Party are going to go Lib Dem, because ultimately it's, NIMBYism.